Hello guys, welcome back to another live stream. Today is Saturday, 3rd of December. So yeah, last month of the year. Here we are, beginning of the month as well. And of course, right, yesterday, first Friday of the month, which means NFP, and we had a really good and interesting move in the market. Basically, after the strong move, when the NFP came out, price overcorrected and it basically closed at the same level where it was just before the NFP. So interesting to see that. The numbers were much better than expected, around 263. Okay, number expecting 200, right? So much better. Price. I think the main adjustment that we'll see maybe throughout next year is going to be. Because last year or this year, it has been bad news, good news, good news, bad news. And this was actually a good new event that we had. And for some reason, we saw the indices falling like crazy when that came out. Still maybe afraid that the Fed's going to, I don't know, continue with the hawkish approach or not. Even on Wednesday, when the Chair Powell spoke, I think we see that they are already considering to slow down. But maybe keep the rates high for quite a while, like maybe throughout all the 2023 until maybe in 2024, maybe starting to see some reduction. So eventually we are actually going to start seeing, when you have good news, good data coming out, maybe the market's going to actually react in a positive way. Yesterday, kind of after such a good NFP data coming out, we could see the indices straight away going to the upside and not kind of going down before going higher. The problem is that maybe next year we actually are going to start having proper negative data coming out. Now maybe the economy finally adjusting and to all these hikes, and maybe next year we're actually going to have bad news being bad news, and maybe that's when we are going to have the indices maybe continuing to go down, and maybe let's see if that happens or not, if the economy is going to go into recession somewhere next year. So that's just a little bit of the fundamentals in here to see how it's going. Looking at the charts, and this is kind of my strength and where I spend most of my time. I do pay attention to the news and a little bit to what's going on. However, what I like to see is actually the charts, right? So whatever the chart is telling me, that's where I'm going to position myself, and that's where I'm going to be looking for opportunities all around. And if you remember, so where were we last week? First of all, welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I do always 2 live streams, one on Tuesday, a little bit more educational content, and then another one on Saturday today, right? Which is my weekly analysis for the week ahead. Feel free to ask any questions, feel free to comment or to ask me to take a look at any specific pair that you want to trade or don't you want me to look at, any key levels. So the main point is to discuss and maybe find some good key zones for the week ahead. Like we did last week, for example, a few of the levels that we looked at, they kind of worked out quite nicely. For example, Dow Jones, it's one of them, even DAX as well. What you predicted on DAX, it kind of worked a little bit. Price hasn't really moved away from the level, but you could have managed to get some good opportunities in there. So yeah, feel free to do it. I start usually with the dollar index. I like dollar index. It gives me an overview of the major FX pairs that I like to trade, and I like to see the correlation within them. Then we go a little bit to the indices, NASDAQ, S&P. Recently I've been looking at the Dow and the DAX as well. And then we go into the major FX, and we can finish a little bit with crypto as well. So yeah, dollar index, right? So where were we last week? We opened the week on the 25, 20, yeah, it was here, right? 27, 28. Where were we? 25th? Yeah, this transition, right? So we were here last week. That's where we closed. Somewhere in here. And yes, I did mention we had, I think, just broken that low yeah, we broke this wall just on Monday when we had that that good reversal happening. When it's all euros, we are going to downside. And I've been mentioning for the last few weeks that, in my opinion, this was not the zone to look for the reversal. If that was about to happen, I still wanted to see price going below these lows, at least, before maybe making some kind of major reversal. If that was about to happen, price can easily just continue to the downside. But yes, this one, because these lows actually had already taken this low in here, and that's why I was looking for price to still manage to go further down. Now we had, or what we have in here is still this demand zone, where basically price kind of reacted yesterday, and I'm still looking a little bit more underneath at this 104. I have been mentioning this 104. Price can even break below, can even go further down, but I was looking at least for price to go there as a target from these sellers. This 104 is a reaction, or it is an alignment with the previous high from 2017, maybe. Yeah, this one, 2016-17. Yeah, with this one, right? So it's a little bit in alignment with that level. Let's see how it plays out when price gets there. It's still fresh. Price, none of these walls reacted from there. Of course, price can still go down. You can still continue to navigate a little bit more to the downside, but this is a zone that I want to see how price is going to react, right? And this actually what happened yesterday. Let's pretend that it's not. Let's pretend that it's not NFP, but this is not a natural move, right? Take the lows, and what's the next destination is literally kind of the next support resistance level that we have here, right? The next supply level. This is the next key zone that price needs to, a natural zone to for a reaction, right? If you're looking for a long for a target, or if you had been looking for longs in here, this could have been your natural zone for a target. Because from here, price still needs now to break this level. If it breaks above it, there's maybe the chance to continue to go higher. Otherwise, you can just literally respect it. Again, this is kind of a quasi model. I think you can see it. Price kind of in here should have done this, but it didn't, right? It just moved to the downside, and this is quite normal, right? Because I always ask, or I always try to pay attention to, or I mention all the time when you're trying to trade quasi models or something like that, pay attention to always where is price coming from and where actually this price wants to go to, right? The same way that we kind of reacted from here, but we just reacted from this previous level of demand, current supply. We even had broken this wall a little bit, and this was a natural zone to look for a reaction in here, where actually price reacted last Wednesday during the conference of the Chair Powell. In here, right, we didn't broke this level. I mentioned that I was curious to see how price would behave somewhere in here, in order to look for either a continuation to downside, or if price breaks this level, that could open space to go higher. And this is a natural move. By natural move, I mean as a trend continuation setup. This is usually what you can see it as well, right? So let's pretend that price is going down. Something that usually occurs is, yeah, so price is going down. Okay, 1, 2 down, and now it starts kind of to create this a little bit of a few highs, like similar to what you have in here, maybe 1, 2 double top, and then it goes down again, right? More often than not, these highs in here, they're going to be taken, and what you're going to have is that transition, right? It's going to be price coming up in here, kind of respecting a little bit, but going to have this movement, and then in alignment a little bit with this movement, aligned with these highs. That's usually a really good level to look for a continuation to the downside in here, right? Let's pretend and let's see that actually price reacted from a good level in here, right? That these highs never really got there, so there is a good level in here that usually where these highs should have gone, but they didn't. And therefore, yeah, wherever price may go even there, even before breaking a new low, or even breaking a new low and then retrace, which is kind of what happened in here, retrace and just go there into whatever supply or decision point was created in alignment with this level, with these highs. That's usually a really good level to look for an entry, and it's exactly where price go, right? Exactly to the extreme of that level in here. That's where price went to react. So it reached its destination. It didn't really broke anything. If it had broken this level, I could maybe start thinking about, okay, how can I maybe participate in some longs? but it didn't. Price still never went there, and actually maybe in the future there's going to be something in here to look for small trade in there. Yeah, then this becomes a KM, which becomes then an IKM, because price from here should have gone there. That it didn't, it just went here and it dropped. I actually have a video explaining this kind of pattern or this kind of setup, similar setup, but it was on euro dollar last year somewhere. It's one of my initial videos that I did, explaining exactly this kind of setup, right? Because then you don't only have a KM zone in here, like kind of this pattern. 1 second. Price should have kind of respected, but if you actually analyze what you have in here, it's kind of more of the same. Like you have a little bit as well, those indecisions of price going up, down, taking highs, taking lows, until kind of with this decision here, like in alignment a little bit with this level. So it kind of, everything starts to align with the same zone, and eventually that's a really nice zone to look for a reaction. And you saw how it happens. Right, this level is still fresh. Price just went there, took the orders, and apparently it dropped in there. Yeah, and again, right, there's even a KM zone in here, even in a smaller time frame within that level. That's how price is fractional. So what's next, right? What's next for the dollar index? The way price reacted from there, it's quite nice. The way price actually reversed completely throughout this day yesterday, it's quite interesting as well. And I think there's maybe a little bit more room to the downside. I'm still looking at this maybe a level in here to see how price is going to react. As I mentioned, I like to see highs being broken on the way down, and honestly I'm not sure if this is a high that has been broken on the way down. Yeah, okay, we broke a little bit these ones, but these ones are not the ones that matter. The ones that matter are literally the ones at the extremes, and this could have been a high that could have been broken to give me a little bit more indication that price actually wants to start to change direction. At this point, I could see a little bit more move to downside, and we have a few barriers in here, right? You have this one now. There's maybe even something in here that price can go to, maybe a little bit more something at the extremes, and let's see. Even this one in here now, it's one to take a look at. If you do break maybe above this level, maybe that could be in the initial zone until we get to that 1.4, and maybe it may be turn. So let's see what the dollar is going to do. I'll be looking at this level. Underneath that, what we have underneath that, we do have still this one in here. Just check the 4-hour time frame. The daily. Yeah, oh, this it's going to be interesting. Yeah, kind of have this double, right, which is kind of what we just took now. Price just went all the way back, retested that level, and it's moving down the same way that it retested that level, and it's moving down. So price is starting to create a little bit of this compression in here. Went up, down, up, down, up, down. Took this one now, maybe go down. Maybe can even eventually take this one, just to retest from this one, and maybe continue to go down again. This now is kind of the new price that is available. Whatever it may be, whenever it may happen, maybe go eventually to fill out this compression zone. When that's going to happen, that's going to be interesting. I'm not even sure if it's going to be from here or if price going to just completely fill out this price, maybe until this level, or even target out this triple all the way down. So it's going to be interesting to see when it's going to happen. I could see maybe some even move to the upside, but continuation to the downside, maybe from this level, before we actually maybe go all the way back to the extreme, which maybe then we target this level now as a potential zone to look for a sell or some reaction, maybe from here to here, and then let's see if it continue down or if it just does this. But yes, this is the new space that we have. Meanwhile, we're starting to getting a little bit compressed in there, taking supplies along the way, with still a few supplies left to be taken. So yeah, maybe targeting all the way until here could be something. yeah, let's see what this dollar index is going to provide us in the near future. Again, we are retesting this high from 2017, which could be a good level. We'll see, right? So I have my eyes on that 104 level. Yeah, we'll see. Not looking at the monthly as well. Yeah, price just react from that level on the monthly level. It dropped. It may go all the way back here, or it even is going to take this low from here and react from something underneath this level. It's going to be interesting to see, and eventually, it will be maybe a big ask for now. Eventually, targeting this low could be an option, reacting from this level. And I don't know if there's a little bit of space between this high and this low in there. Just looking at the monthly time frame. Maybe targeting this low in here. Not saying that's going to happen now. I think first we even need to break this low, and you kind of need to enter into this compression in here. That maybe from this low in here. This is way too a bigger picture move, right? That would mean completely filling out this space in there. Yeah, so dollar index, that's what I'm looking at. Next one, let's take a look at the indices. All right, S&P, right? So S&P, I've been mentioning as well that I was not really happy with where these highs were reacting. Happy in the sense that it didn't really make sense to me in terms of looking at these highs reacting from this level and expecting this to happen. I think there was a little bit more room to go to the upside, even at least retesting this level of supply in here, right? So, or even aligned with this zone of support resistance, which is kind of where price got really close this week. So we're starting to create this double top, and this can be interesting as well. This could even create a good pattern to reverse. However, where this low also is reacting from, yes, we did broke this low, but we just retested straight away the next level of support resistance somewhere in here. Even this demand zone that is in here, this decision point in here with this week after breaking these highs, which is a good level. After that, yes, we did create this triple top. We have this trend line, and apparently price is respecting also this trend line from these lows in here, right? At this point, we do have this double top, which can be interesting enough to attract or to look maybe for a potential reversal, because many people are going to be looking to sell in here. I think there's maybe a little bit more room to the upside. Literally where price reacted yesterday, it was from this as well zone in there. You can see how these zones are powerful and how price kind of reacts from there. You can also see that this is one of the last supplies that has been left in here. Kind of price should have kind of had some kind of reaction in here. Apparently it didn't, and now it works on the opposite side, right? What it should have worked as a supply, it works kind of now as a zone to look for a long, especially if you have something in here in alignment. It's quite nice to see. Yeah, S&P, right? Maybe a little bit more room to the upside. There's maybe still some orders at somewhere in here to look for without even breaking the need to break the highs. Maybe just take these highs away and react from there and maybe go a little bit further down. Yes, we reacted from this previous level of supply. That becomes kind of a demand, but we do have this demand zone in here, right? The price may wants to go there in the future. Even if you start breaking new highs in here, eventually we can even use maybe this level now as a continuation to go higher. Maybe this demand is in there to be used in the future to look it for a bigger continuation, right? Let's pretend that maybe price takes this high from here, or reverses, or even maybe even takes this high from here without really reaching the final destination. Let's pretend that price just do this. Something in there, like pretend price goes up, wherever. It takes the high without reaching the final zone in there. You can go down in here, you can take this low and use this one as a good level to react from, and maybe go higher, take the high again, and now you are free to go down. Something like that, for example, right? So it's important to be aware of these levels and what kind of information price is giving us along the way, and what kind of targets we can attempt to look for in the future. Or maybe just take this high, go there straight away and go up, or looking at this level in here. So yeah, this was S&P. Again, nice pattern. It was kind of a nice KM level. The three of them basically created the 3 by 3, I mean S&P, NASDAQ and Dow. Good KM level, right? If you want to study KM levels, there you go. Left shoulder, go up, back out, goes here, drop. Just like that. That's exactly kind of what he did. And again, as I mentioned, the liking to see lows being broken on the way up, in terms of looking for a sell, it's kind of exactly like that, right? So this was kind of broke a little bit this demand zone that managed to hold pricing here. So it broke it. It started giving a little bit indication where you want to go. These highs didn't really react from a final zone in there on the left, but it's nice to still see a double top being created in there. Yeah, it didn't really reacted even close to this level. It's nice to see how they still created a double top, and then we have the fake out, right? We have the fake out, and as I mentioned last week, on Tuesday, maybe in terms of dealing with fake out setups, which kind of demand is going to be the important one to see being taken. And if you go more into the lower time frame, in this case, it's a little bit tricky because we do have this spike in here. Maybe the next demand is going to be this one, right? So this is the new demand in here. That's going to be the decision after price breaking this, because price went up, it respected, and it went up again, created a new high, and now this is the demand, right? This is the demand now that you want to see. If it's broken to the downside, you are free to maybe look for reversals, because you are taking out this liquidity from here as well. So we can look a little bit for reversals after this, and usually aligned with this demand zone that is broken. This is usually a good level to look for some reaction. Just as you see, there's now a new supply in there, just a little bit too much. A little bit in there, and this is usually a really nice zone, especially with this kind of trend that you have in here. And as I mentioned, price breaking lows on the way up, price is going up, create this one in here. We have this low that is price test this movement. It's a high, a lower high, higher low, yeah, higher low, higher high, and we managed to break this low. Not even that, then we have another compression, and now we have another low being broken until finally we start having move. Right? So again, lows being broken on the way up, it just shows how the sellers are a little bit starting to get in control, the buyers are getting quicker, and you have the opportunity then to look for a sell. Again, this was the left supply in there where price actually went to. Yeah, at this point, yeah, two levels that to look for to be kind of this level, or maybe actually the supply all the way to the top. Since price pausing here, there is now maybe a little bit of a chance that price can go up, maybe can go up, even take all these highs now, and maybe just react now from the level in there and drop. We'll see what's going to happen, but that can be a good level. Somewhere in there. Right? But nice story, nice way to look at it. At this point, for example, in terms of looking for reversals, when I mentioned lows being broken on the way up, so we have them. Maybe this one in here, but this one is just the beginning, so that doesn't really count. That's nice to see as a zone to look for an entry for longs. I want to see those lows being taken on the way down when you are approaching the level, like at least middle range to approaching the key level, not in the beginning. In the beginning, this is normal to see one fake out just before beginning of the move, right? To collect liquidity a little bit from these lows, just to react from the real demand that's in there, and then you can start that move to the upside. So yeah, at this point we have low, low, respected. We have this demand zone respected in here, right? We have them, and now we even have this demand in here to see how price is going to behave. So no lows have been taken at this point yet. So let's see what price does, right? If this demand just keeps being respected, there's not even going to be the confirmation, or at least the beginning of a clue to look for the reverse. Or maybe price just wants to continue to go high, maybe take this high, and then yes, we start a new cycle in there. So that's something to look for. So S&P, again, I could still see a little bit of move to the upside, but let's see what's going to happen. The Dow, not the Dow, the NASDAQ, interesting, right? So again, how to deal with the breakouts, or is it a breakout? Again, quite nicely. I even prefer much more NASDAQ as opposite to S&P in terms of how this price behavior. On the NASDAQ, we just took a major high, right? It actually reacted from some kind of supply in here, to be honest. I think there's a really nice supply in here. Just above this double top, we had this high, created this high as well. It's kind of a double top in there, and we had some fresh supply on the left side. Again, we created this beautiful pattern. Again, I've done a video exactly mentioning this level, right? Exactly like this, a double top in here. We have these lows, and we broke the lows first, right? This is a great indication. When you see this happening, when you see this low being broken, you can imagine how many people are going to be looking for sales underneath this level, right? You can imagine how many people are going to be looking for sales in here after breaking these lows. Maybe people may even have sell stops in there. Like as soon as the low is broken, you are short straight away, and that's what you are looking for. Again, a key level to pay attention to, it will be somewhere in here as a zone. However, you could be already expecting the fake out of that double top with this double top as well in here. Look for the reversal. Now, if we cover again what I mentioned, which one will be the demand to look for after the break. So, for example, we may have this spike up, we have this low is still not taken, and maybe somewhere in here, right? Somewhere in alignment with this demand. In this case, we actually even went a little bit down again, but somewhere in here with this green, with this red, the candle could be a level, or just wait for this double to be broken to start looking for sales, right? There's no even need to force it, unless we may go into the lower time frame in here, and I believe maybe if you do that, maybe 5 minutes or something like that, maybe you're going to find, right? Maybe you find that this is the zone. Even if you go to 1 minute, maybe there's something in there to give you a little bit more confirmation to see which demand actually you want to see being taken, just as a confirmation before moving to the other side. Right? Maybe how this compression here, maybe it will be somewhere in there that you'd like to look at, or something in here to start maybe giving you some clues of how to look for, or if you start looking for the reversal and not for the breakout setup, right? Maybe retest and go higher. Wait for that. If you want to wait for a little bit more confirmation, wait for this one. It depends. In here, we start having now this kind of level in here that is taken. So we have all this accumulation of highs in here. We also have a little bit of this new demand, a new supply somewhere in there to look for. But this is one to pay attention to as well. Yeah, it's maybe where price may react from in the future. Yeah, we have this supply as well in there. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that supply, and then price again a little bit similar to what happened on the NASDAQ. On the S&P, price start breaking some lows on the way up, and with good compression, and goes down, and this now becomes a new supply. This level in here, I love this level, right? We just broke it, we go up, attempt to go higher, we don't get rejected straight away. So this level in here becomes one of my favorite zones to look for an entry. Somewhere in there, somewhere in alignment with this level, becomes really good in here. This rejection from this high down in here becomes really one of my favorite levels, to be honest, to look for an entry. Or you can even kind of just place a sell stop in here if you are looking at this in a moment. If you want to look for a sell immediately, you can just kind of place a sell stop. Soon it's broken, you are short in there as well. A way that I like to execute trades. Yeah, so yeah, it's a little bit similar to NASDAQ, to S&P, sorry. We do have still maybe a little bit of a zone in there that price can go to. We now have kind of these highs. So let's see what's going to happen, right? Let's see if the indices are going to have some kind of reversal a little bit to the downside, or if they're going to continue to move higher. NASDAQ, I still keep an eye on all this area in here to see if it holds or not. Otherwise, we might just continue to go higher and continue to go to the upside, right? At this point, we already fake out this level. I think if we do break above this high, I think maybe at this point we are going to be ready to look for a trend continuation on the NASDAQ personally. DAX, yeah, this was the approach, right? This is what we were looking for last week. Price was in here, right, when we had this gap, and we have that supply level on the left side with this left shoulder that I mentioned. Again, there's maybe a little bit more of a better zone eventually, a little bit above. You may go and take out these highs from here and maybe react from there, but for now I could still see some kind of orders within this level, because this high already fake out this one, good reaction from that level. So that's an alternative, and even maybe some reaction from here as well. Just extend that line from there as well. So what we had in here, it's a little bit of a compression move to the upside. We kind of broke this low in here. So first of all, what we were looking for, right? So we saw that we had this range last week. And price, kind of what I mentioned was I would like to see this demand zone being taken, and then price kind of faking out these highs, and then kind of going down and maybe filling out this level all the way until here, filling this price. What price did was actually kind of broke these lows, broke the demand that I mentioned, kind of reacted just a little bit from here, and it eventually broke another one, right? So I was looking for price maybe eventually to get there. However, what hasn't happened yet initially is that we haven't still taken the kind of the liquidity from these highs, maybe for moving to the downside. Now, when you are here, yeah, we may have broken this level, maybe are looking for price to go further down. However, at this point, since price kind of made this move, this becomes the new barrier, right? So this becomes a new zone in there. It's important to wait to see if price actually breaks it again, right? If price breaks now this level, because this one is already kind of broke again, I think the likelihood of filling out this price it's much higher, because you need to be aware as well. Like when price retraces to the upside, it kind of creates a new zone in here that we need to be aware of. So for example, if you're looking for shorts in here, your initial target at this point should be kind of an under test of this level, of this demand zone. And yes, if you do break then below that, your final target or one of the final targets could be somewhere in alignment with this level in here. And if you want to keep it a little bit position, your position open, and if price does actually break below this level, maybe you can hold it all the way until the next zone. So yeah, this demand zone in here becomes the new barrier that you want to pay attention to. And until now we have kind of this level broken, we don't really have the guarantee, right? So at this point, in terms of ranges that you want to see being taken, so it will be that supply on the left side, which is within this red rectangle, and it's going to be between this level. So it's kind of wait and see to see which level is going to be broken first, to see what's going to happen. Now, yes, I'm aware that maybe we have broken into this compression in here. Kind of this one has been taken there, and we took it. Actually, this price reacted from here. Yeah, in reality, price actually, can you see, actually reacted, or it took the orders from this vast demand zone that it was still in here. It's actually this highs, it looks like they were a little bit shy to that demand, and actually price kind of went there to react from this week in here, interesting enough. Nevertheless, I could still see kind of price as breaking that level, and maybe price eventually attempting to go there. But now first I want to see this level being broken to the downside before doing that. But yes, this was the zone that, or this was the levels that we were looking for last week, and they kind of worked, right? Waiting for price to break here, you could look for shorts, and then even if you actually waited for price to kind of fake out this highs and react exactly from the supply level, you had your trade in terms of targets and how exactly how to execute it, to find maybe a smaller entry in there, or with tight stops. That's up to you how you execute your trade. Yeah, that's entirely up to you how you do it. But that was DAX. It hasn't changed, so go back and maybe watch last week's live stream, weekly analysis. It doesn't really change in terms of maybe looking a little bit higher if price wants to go and react from. So we are here, right? There's a chance of a little bit of reaction here, and there's a chance of even taking out all these highs and maybe reacted from this support resistance level at maybe 15,000, right? It can be maybe a good resistance level. In there, this was the supply that I was looking for. Price is kind of bouncing in there. Yeah, potential to reach this level can be, so keep an eye on the DAX to see what's going to happen. The other one that we were looking for, it was the Dow Jones, right? The Dow, well, what we looked at last week, where were we? 25th. Yeah, 25th. I think we had just broken. Did I just broken these highs? Yeah, we just had broken the high, right? Which again, I've been actually talking about this Dow Jones for the last maybe 2-3 weeks, all the way until should we look for sales within this low, within this high or not, how to look at it, how to approach the level, and what to consider, or should we wait for it to fake out, right? And then also, even one of the guys that was watching the stream, Muzani, you actually mentioned this level in here on the left side, and we are looking at that, right? We are looking at this key decision point in here, that none of these highs actually reacted from there, and it's a little bit close to a good level on the weekly or daily time frame as well, right? I think it's maybe the weekly, yeah, or even monthly. I think even monthly, it's that week a little bit above it that price may go to. However, if you go into the lower time frame, you see that the supply level actually starts a little bit underneath. This is the level that I was mentioning. On a second, let me just scroll towards there, that zone. Yeah, right. So we have this clean supply level that is in there, that literally from here we managed to break out these lows. We start having accumulation of these highs. Price took a little bit of high, didn't really reach this level, and you're looking at that zone to look for a potential reaction, right? That's what we covered last week on the Dow. Now, how would price kind of move from there? First of all, even before that, there was a chance to look for a sell, and I mentioned that. I'll go to 1 hour. I mentioned that after that sell, again, wait for this to be broken, and maybe you can have that opportunity. Looking a little bit for at least this target, next one at this demand level, and we broke it, right? We actually kind of broke this level, which may give us a little bit clues that we may be eventually looking for a potential reversal on the Dow, and we may feel how this how this price in here. That's that potential as well. Eventually feeling at least until here first, and then maybe the potential even to feel all the way until this level. So let's see when that's going to happen. Of course, on Wednesday again during the speech, price just straight move to the upside. We do have now kind of this demand zone where price eventually reacted from it yesterday. Before that, price went there. Similar to the other two indices, we kind of have a double top, a little bit of a move to the downside, spike up, and the move down, and retest, and the drop, right? Again, exactly same pattern around the three indices. Test, and then you have the drop. Exactly the same situation. Now, in the three of them as well, there's a little bit more of a room to see some maybe reaction from here. Even this one is still kind of fresh as well. So let's see what the indices are going to do. I kind of like a little bit where this Dow Jones is approaching. Even if you go a little bit higher, there's still a possibility, or you can just kind of trade this level, maybe to the downside. Yeah, we have kind of started to create a little bit of liquidity in here. We have a massive high in there. We have this one. Yeah, we reacted from this demand zone, right? So this can be a good level maybe to continue as well, to go higher. Just interesting to see how we are going to behave around these levels. This level in here, this level in there. Start having a little bit of a rejection in here. Maybe you can have the drop to the downside. Yeah, that could be a scenario. So let's see what's going to happen on the Dow. We did talk about that level, specific level, last week as well. And that's it for the indices, right? Let's see if there's a reversal next week. That's not regarding the news events. I don't think there's going to be any big catalyst for next week. There's going to be, I think, interest rate decision in Australia and Canada. And basically that's it for the dollar. I don't really know. I think that's going to happen the week afterwards, right? When you have the CPI and then I think the last Fed meeting for the year, around the 13th, 14th of December, something like that. Yeah. Okay, looking at the Euro index, right? Euro index, a little bit of an range. Main reason for that is because we have seen different behaviors on the Euro pairs, and basically, let's just call it, it hasn't been a week dominated by the Euro move, right? So we have seen maybe Euro dollar going up, but then we see Euro yen going down, Euro pound maybe going down, Euro Aussie kind of in between. And if you see something like that, we can literally just look at this Euro index and you can see, okay, whatever direction price has been moving, it's not because of the Euro, right? It's not because of whatever it's going on with the Euro. Euro is not dominating at this point the moves from last week. All right, so it's a completely different story when you had this, for example, or if in a second I'm going to show the yen index, and you're going to see the opposite, right? There's been a complete week dominated by the strength on the yen, right? And that's why we saw a big drop on the dollar yen, euro yen, pound yen, and so on and so forth. All right, so in terms of this one, again, looking left, I like where kind of in here I was a little bit not super happy. In here, okay, I can see that price indeed now is reacting from this supply. Personally, I believe that price may want to still go a little bit higher and go and take these highs and go higher in there. That's what I believe that eventually Euro is going to do. Now we have all these lows accumulated. I could see maybe price going down. We already have kind of a little bit of this low taking these ones. So maybe a chance to even retest that level. We'll see if we are kind of in a phase of distribution, let's just call it, from buyers to sellers. If we're still going to have maybe another extra high to go, and maybe before looking for a move to the downside, that's going to be interesting. I do a little bit like that level, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you look left, there's a better even zone a little bit higher, right? But this is much higher than that, and that would mean Euro index to go all the way to take all these highs that we have in here, and this actually looks even a better zone eventually to go there, and then yes, maybe then have a major reversal to the downside. Let's see. For now, I think there's going to be some reaction from here initially. Nice supply level. Yeah, this one I'm not a big fan of that. I wouldn't even attempt to trade anything in here. Like, I don't exactly trade Euro index. I just use it as a guidance as well. A little bit similar to what I do with the dollar index. A little bit differently, but yes, as a confluence. That's how I use these currency indexes. Yeah, so yeah, nothing much to talk about in here, right? Let's see which direction price is going to move to, is which zone within this range price is going to eventually break and go. Yen index. All right, again, complete different story, right? You can see the momentum on the yen opposite to a ranging market on the euro index. And nice moves, right? I was, for me, I was still bullish. I've been bullish on this one even from somewhere from these lows after we had that move to the upside. And that was kind of, again, this yen index moves. You'll see the opposite move on the yen pairs, right? If you see this strength on the yen index, it's going to mean that the dollar yen actually is going down, euro yen is going down, and so on. That's what I've been yeah, biased towards too. And it was a really nice reaction on the dollar yen where it reacted from the highs, which means this low. We had that move. I was bullish since we saw kind of this break higher. We kind of retested from this level, but for me this was literally engulfed to the upside. Natural zone, fake out this low, and then we are ready to move, right? So I've been bullish in this scenario, even in here, right? So this was a good level to look for a continuation. This demand in here, again, we keep not seeing any kind of lows being taken on the way up. It's a good sign. Price is still even respecting this level. Yesterday, yes, we saw a nice reaction, right? Euro yen, no, not euro yen, pound yen, dollar yen, they reacted from good levels just before the NFP, and we saw the move, the opposite move in this case, those pairs moving to the upside, reacted straight away from the demand zone, next demand zone, on this barrier, and now kind of is trading to the upside, and now is literally within these two levels. So let's see which direction is going to break. Of course, even if this one goes a little bit further down, you can even retest a little bit this level maybe before continuing. We just broke this massive high. This is an important high. This was the last high that created this low. It's an important break to the upside that may open space to go a little bit higher. Again, I've been mentioning, and I have actually challenged you guys to do that exercise, finding where are the left fresh orders, in this case supply levels that are still fresh on the way down, right? Since you created from this high, on the way down, where are those fresh supply levels? And if you find those levels, keep an eye on them, because there's a high chance that price may still react from them. For example, this was one of them. This was actually one of them in here as well. Because as you can see, even from here, these highs never reacted from there. How this looks compressed, so eventually when we break above this level, let's just fill out the space. This level in here may... Wait, what have I done? This level in here, it looks like still fresh a little bit as well after taking this one. Yeah, but how this is been taken, and eventually we can maybe go all the way to the highs. There's maybe something that price can just take these highs, check out something, go a little bit down, but eventually maybe we're going to see price going all the way up there. So yeah, this one can be a little bit above this level, everything looks taken, something above that level in there. So yeah, so this is one of the last supplies. There's maybe some reaction first to take from this level, above this level, eventually get to that level, and we'll see. And you can do the opposite when you are looking now from the lows upwards. Where are the fresh demand zones? For example, this one is way too obvious, right? Something in here, maybe even something in there as well. This one was there as well, which has been taken already, so that's done. A little bit in here, but you do kind of have a double low. I don't like it. Maybe something underneath, there's something in there that price can go to, or you have this last supply that should have been respected. It was not, so maybe that's where price may wants to go. Before go up, this was a demand as well, price taken, there's no more orders in there. So yeah, just keep an eye on those zones, and you're going to see price bouncing in between those levels. It's a good exercise to do. And then it's all about how price is approaching them, what kind of execution do you want to take, what kind of confirmation you want to see before taking the order, and what type of target are you looking for, right? Manage your expectations on your targets, right? Maybe the only trade that you kind of maybe take from here could even just be the retest of this level, this previous support resistance level, and go up, or the next one could be the demand zone. Until those levels are taken, that's maybe when you can start looking for bigger targets. And yeah, just moves like that. So yeah, interesting to see which level is going to be taken in here. Continuation to the upside. Overall, I think that's going to happen. Just took this low. However, maybe price wants to do a little bit of a deeper retracement before it goes and continues to go higher. That's it in terms of what I look at in here on the indices and so on. So we can kind of transition into the major FX pairs. That's what I look to trade. Guys, any questions, feel free to ask. And if you haven't subscribed yet, if you are getting any value, do so. Please subscribe. Next year, for sure, I'm going to start creating some highlights from the live streams, so I can provide you a little bit more concise content. And hopefully as well, I will help more people, and more people are going to join the channel as well. Yeah, so euro dollar. Here we are, right? So where were we? Right? So yeah, by last week, I even mentioned that one already on Tuesday, right? I actually tried to short that one. I got stopped out exactly at the top. Then I got another entry in there, but yeah, so we broke to the upside, and then we kind of retested these levels, which is a little bit similar to what we did on the S&P, kind of retesting these kind of left shoulders in here after the fake out. We kind of give the indication where he wants to go next, and then we go there, right? Even before that, we have this one, right? This actually, it was a good setup in here, but as I mentioned, breaking highs on the way. Now it's the opposite, right? I was saying breaking lows on the way up. Now it's breaking highs on the way down, showing a little bit of indication of where it wants to go next, right? When I saw this one happening on Wednesday, before I think the job openings news, something like that, all this compression was really nice. Price hasn't really reached this final destination. I was looking for price to go somewhere in there. We have this gap in here, right? Price basically just retested that level, a little bit in alignment with these lows. But yes, when I saw this one happening, and knowing that there was still that news event, the conference that the Chair Paul would attend, I actually saw this one as an engulf up, and actually I was looking for actually that price could go higher, and it's actually interesting, right? So how then supplies become demands and so on and so forth. It's exactly like that, right? So if you take a look at it, we kind of maybe looks like there's maybe a key M zone in here. You could see with the left shoulders go higher, go down, and price kind of should have respected this level again to go down. It doesn't. What it does, one more time, it just respects to go higher. Exactly the same thing in here. There was even maybe a potential, like a good level to look maybe for a sell, even within this level. It would have been where are we? It could have been maybe somewhere in here. Again, that's why at this point I'm not just trading with sell limit orders, because even if I see that a level it's quite good and there are kind of orders in there, or the price kind of should react from there, I see that price, if it doesn't react from one side, it can kind of react from the other side. So that's why I like the approach. The approach is going to help me to find out actually if I should expect price actually to react from this level and look for a sell, or the opposite, right? If I see this level being broken, I actually may be even more aggressive when approaching this level now to look for a long, for example. That's something that it's a shift. Reason to not even looking for a sell in here, as you can see, just before some kind of the conference started, we see the big spike. Price literally took this demand, didn't break the demand, and then after that it just completely shoots through, right? So as soon as I saw this kind of spike respecting this level, I was no longer even looking for, or completely paused to not look for a sale in there. But yeah, it's just to see again how price reacts from when one level is broken or ignored, or price kind of goes back just to touch it and be respected on the opposite side. That's maybe even a strategy that maybe you can even implement of instead of trading kind of a demand zone, start looking for trades after the demand is actually broken, something that should have been respected. Wait for it to be broken and now trade the opposite. Now maybe even gives you a little bit or even more confirmation to maybe improve your edge in the market, or improve your winning ratio, your winning percentage as well. So yes, euro. Yeah, I was looking for a sell yesterday. I was completely biased to look for sales yesterday, just before the NFP. After such a strong compression on the way up, maybe euro, it was not even the one more clear. I was looking for the Aussie and the pound. It was even a little bit more clear. But again, what I mentioned, starting to see lows being broken even on the way up, all this strong compression, and that's why I was looking for that that potential sell on the NFP. Yep, where are we? Price had just taken these important highs in here, so these are visible even on the daily time frame. Price had just taken all this. Personally, I think price still wants to go a little bit higher. However, after taking such an important highs on the daily time frame, usually you are going to see some kind of, in this case, actually just this high here. But when you take usually kind of so many weeks from the same level, usually there's usually some kind of retracement to the downside. Now, or a good zone to look for a kind of a fake out setup before maybe even price then continues to go into the same direction, kind of just from here all the way through to the next month, and price most likely maybe it's going to continue to go higher. I can still see a little bit more room to the upside on the euro. We can maybe even take this highs, but the same way that I'm still looking a little bit more room to the downside on dollar index, maybe until that 104 level that I mentioned. I think I can still see a little bit more room to the upside on the euro as well. And you just respected the demand, we didn't even broke it into it, so I think I can see that happening again. Price kind of is close respecting this level. It's going to be interesting if you even break below this level, but I think I would be surprised if you don't take all these highs now, at least until there, or a little bit higher on the euro. And that's what I'm going to be looking for, right? I'm going to be looking maybe a little bit of a continuation, and then maybe some kind of reversal in there. On the pound, right? Again, natural zone to look for, just retest next level of support resistance. I actually had this level in here marked as well at the lows, but my focus was actually to look for a sell, and I noticed this one. This was a good trigger for me. It's just by, I don't know, fraction of a pip, whatever it may be. It's a break to the downside. Period, enough story. And we have all these highs in here to look for to be collected, while price still respecting the previous highs on the day before. Bigger picture, something that we have done as well, a little bit similar to the euro, but this one is even more obvious. We just had taken these massive highs. So it's an important, this high basically is the beginning of that originated all this move to the downside. So it's quite important, visible basically in how time frames that you can imagine. From the weekly to daily, even if I put on the monthly, I think we can even see this high in here, quite obvious. Maybe the next stage that he wants to go is maybe even to touch this level on the monthly scale. We'll see how that's going to play out. Actually, I think there's a nice little supply in there. I think this high never really touched it. There's maybe a nice zone in there actually to eventually to look for an opportunity if price does want to go there. Yes, there was this supply, which actually I don't know if price actually touched it or not. In here, a little bit close to that level, we do have all these highs as well. So I wouldn't be surprised, actually wouldn't be surprised at all if you do go and retest that level that I just mentioned on the monthly, and do actually take this high before maybe a massive reversal to the, or before a good reversal to the downside, which you may even go even above this one eventually. I think there's a little bit of space between these two levels that price can take advantage of, and maybe actually have maybe a good reversal, a good retracement before maybe this level, maybe then continuing upwards if that's their plan. but maybe somewhere, something in there could be a good level. Looking just at what happened on Friday, I actually got pissed. I have to admit. I got stopped out at break even. I sold it straight away, kind of around the London morning. I kind of had a sale somewhere in there. Usually when I see these kind of big patterns or movements during NFP days, actually my first target was somewhere in here, and of course my last target was actually somewhere in there. Yeah, usually when I see this, any single time that I see this, I usually see price kind of taking the low and then kind of doing the retracement, even confirming with this one, then doing the retracement maybe after 11, go all the way back, retest the highs if there are still orders in here, which there were, and then catch the move for the NFP. But that's when I'm not in the trade, right? When I'm in the trade, price always respects kind of just the next demand zone and never really goes down. So because price never really broke this level and I wanted to get my T1 in here, I ended moving my stop loss to break even. However, as soon as I got stopped out, I start being active looking for a new sell. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with moving my stop loss to break even if I kind of miss my first target for a bit and I can see price maybe reversing. Because I was aware that maybe price could still respect something here, or maybe even fake out just this high. I was biased to look for sales. I mentioned this low in here, and that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, strong compression. However, I never managed to find the second entry, and that's where I got pissed. I didn't manage to enter the second time. I was looking for price kind of to retest this level in here. Price just paused with all these highs in here. Didn't kind of make this movement to then drop. Usually that's what happens. It didn't do that. I never managed to get my entry again, and then eventually price just did kind of what I was expecting, and I didn't participate on the move, and it is what it is. Yeah, I was looking for these two. One was pound. Yeah, I did short kind of in the morning, breakout, break even, missed the second entry. That would be eventually finally get what I wanted. And the other one was on the Aussie that I was looking for as well. It was a little bit confirmation that price was actually showing me some indication that want to go down. I didn't really go to my level either. So I missed both trades, both moves to the downside. Yeah, what's next for the pound? As I mentioned, this is a good level in there. We do have all these highs. I'm not sure if there's something in here for price maybe to bounce a little bit. Final zone, I'm looking for a little bit to that level. It's around 1.24219, something like that. Don't really focus on so precise a line, but somewhere in there, even maybe a little bit in here, there's maybe a good zone to look for. Look for a level in there. Yeah, price has respected this level. Just take it, go a little bit higher, and maybe go down. This level in here. Yeah, this one yesterday it was, well, it is what it is. Next one. Yeah, pounds again, maybe a little bit more room to the upside, and then maybe start looking for some reversals. Price is taking the key levels that were there, which is quite nice to see. Hey Faden. How are you, man? Which Faden are you? You cannot be the Greek one, because you wouldn't call me sir for sure. Good man, good. Yeah, that's for the pound. On the Aussie. Gentlemen. Oh my god, that's a nice picture, man. You cannot really see it, but I don't even know what is that. Yeah, the Aussie. Again, I was looking for price to take this high still. How this strong compression. If Geuta, come on, before breaking the highs, doing all this again. That would be interesting. Okay, since you are here, you make this go to another different level. I kind of still like this level a little bit to the highs. So price is touching this level. I would like to see this one be taken, to be honest. Maybe a little bit towards that level. We have kind of few left shoulders in here. But eventually, of course, as I mentioned, I would like to see even this high being taken. But maybe there's something in here. I don't even know why this is like this. Just cover this one. Why not covering even the high, just to be safe? Yeah, something above that level could be interesting, because price pausing here. We have all these zones. Just change time frame in this. Yeah, we have this little zone on the hourly view as well. Yeah, just take this high. So yeah, no, I want to see the highs being taken first. Yeah, I want to see price kind of, if price just continues to go to the upside on Monday, kind of it has kind of that Monday pattern that I mentioned, kind of a little bit of a trend, maybe continuing kind of in the momentum where price is coming from. Even forget about this, right? Price may even just break, and it may even target for Monday. It will be even literally to feel this. How many pips is this? This is quite still 120 pips, 140 pips. Maybe from where price is still 150 pips all the way until there, right? With some pause maybe in between there. Yeah, if that's what price wants to do, if by any chance price now kind of ranges a little bit, there's maybe something like that. Personally, I don't really like to look for strong reversals on Mondays. I prefer to see them kind of on Tuesdays. Monday, I prefer to see price kind of moving a little bit in the same direction as Friday, slowing down, and then kind of see the reversal on Tuesday. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. But yeah, man. There's maybe something in here, right? I don't know if there's something aligned with these highs. Price kind of moved quite strangely aligned with this high in here. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because you did took this high. Just imagine, that would be hilarious if price now by any chance, after this deep reverse, this deep kind of retrace by the end of the session, all of them, all the indices, euro and so on, kind of now just drop again. That would be interesting. Aussie, right? Aussie was another one. We broke kind of all these walls in here with this spike, and even broke this one again, and we kind of have this level, and we just broke this one again. Where I was looking for to sell on the Aussie that I didn't really get to, and I actually would like to see on the Aussie, okay, I would be super okay if you don't break the highs, and if you just go there, take the orders, and you just dump again, kind of drop. I'll be super okay with that. And again, another reaction from kind of previous level support resistance. All this strong compression, I was literally looking for price to go there before selling. But these guys just kind of range in here. They don't know what they're doing. So why not just now collect all those stop losses in there and go down. I like, again, this is another kind of KM level. It's just a beautiful pattern for reversals. Oh, the tiny zone on the left side, right? On the pound. Hi Vlad. Hey mate. First time I see you here. Welcome. You're asking what confirmation use for entries. I tend to have very good levels where I get at least a reaction, but then the entry screws me. Are you entering with just sell limits or buy limits in the levels that you are looking for, or do you wait for some kind of confirmation? Hey Muzani, how are you, man? Are you still short on the Dow or not? How good people here. How good people. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. That's actually something that I'm proud of, that I don't really have so many trolls. I think I only had one troller coming into the stream. It was right in the beginning, which was a good or bad experience. I have no idea. But yeah, it was quite weird. Already long. Yeah, break and retest, some rejection. Good job, Muzani. Yeah, so in terms of confirmation. I think I even mentioned that before. Yeah, confirmation. Yeah, which pair did I mention now that I was looking for that sell stop? I don't remember now. Yeah, I like to see, for example, the trade I took in here on the pound. Where were we? So I start opening positions a lot with sell stops or buy stops, for example. For some reason, I kind of wait for it to kind of retest the highs, and then kind of as soon as it breaks one specific low, in this case, let's pretend that I'm looking for sales. Jesus, what graphics is this? If I'm waiting to see price, I'm looking for sales. I kind of define a specific demand zone or low that I want to see be broken, and maybe after that low is broken, as long as it's not too far away from the high, so that doesn't really create me a wide of a stop loss, right? That may affect my risk reward. I'm starting using a lot sell stops, right? So, and what I like to see is, this actually is a good example, and this is where I enter short. I think I got short somewhere in like, not even here, I think it was the break of something in here that I got it. I was looking at the 10 seconds chart where you can maybe define a specific level in there to enter short. But yes, I like to see, for example, the high being created. Price kind of is now bouncing in between this level. First of all, as I mentioned before, I want to see some lows being broken on way up. That's one of the triggers for me to start, or to give me extra confirmation to look for a sell. So I want to see some lows being broken on the way up. That shows me that kind of the sellers are starting to gain some control. But then finally, when I'm looking at the higher high, maybe the extreme, to start looking for the sell, I want to see that bottom, right? I want to see some kind of a bottom like this. I know that there's maybe some kind of demand in here. Price is fighting it, and in here, when sometimes even we kind of even break this demand first, and that's actually a good clue. But then price still goes up, kind of has that final attempt to kind of break the highs, but it gets completely rejected. This is a good example. It gets completely rejected, and it just drops. Right? It just drops in here, and this is usually maybe where I'm going to place my sell stop. Because when I see this kind of rejection now, again, pay attention to where the high is reacting to on the left side. That's again something that I look for. So yeah, I kind of place my sell stop, because more often than not, and one of the reasons I'm starting to place some sell stops and not maybe just waiting again for this to be broken and now enter at kind of a sell limit in here, is because sometimes price just kind of breaks this level and just continues to go down without the retest, and I was missing way too many trades. So now, fuck it, I'm just going to place a sell stop. Maybe I could get a little bit a better entry in there, but I'm okay with it. So yeah, kind of a sell stop below a specific low that I want to see being broken, kind of the last demand zone. As price tries to attempt, it doesn't, it gets rejected, and then usually see a strong move down, kind of attempt to go higher, break it, and there you go, I'm shorting here. I'll get too many trolls and I get 1 million. I will hire you as an administrator, man, to filter everyone. There's no trolls in here, and you're going to be responsible for that. Yeah, so that's usually something that I like to see. And what you are going to find out as well is when you have that rejection, and more often than not, again, maybe price will still kind of respect the low that was broken, like it was in this example. And another situation is that actually you are going to have kind of a KM level in here. That's going to be a kind of a supply still in here at the extremes, where usually price goes and reacts from. So you can imagine how important this, Jesus, at this point I have way too many draws. 1 second, let me delete a lot of stuff. Just change type frame so everything gets green, and I go back here. So yeah, you can imagine how important this decision in here is, which is where price tries to make that last attempt to go higher, and I love this supply level. Actually, I think that will be where I'm kind of enter short in here, because we have a little bit of a small range in there, and kind of break that level, I'm short. Stop, just I'm short. Again, I have a bias already, right? The price is reacting from a really good level. I have a complete bias that I'm looking for a sell. like the compression, and that's it, right? Yeah, but you're going to see that this level, even for the future, when price kind of creates that double top that usually maybe people like to trade double tops, it's kind of more of a reaction towards to this level in here, which goes in there. Yeah, I actually missed that level. There you go. I waited. I should have kind of placed maybe a sell stop straight away underneath here. I actually waited. I think I had a sell limit in here. I had actually a sell limit in here, and these motherfuckers, these highs, never did that spike, and that's why I missed my second entry on the pound to actually then finally catch this move. This move in here. So yeah, and usually what you're going to realize, if you actually with this kind of sell stop or this move, it's almost rare even that you are a little bit in a drawdown, because price maximum just reacts from here and it kind of goes back straight away. It just reacts from here and goes down. Yeah, that's usually one of my favorite entries that I've been applying these last few months as a confirmation. But it goes with the bigger picture, of course, right? I'm not just looking at a random stop, a random zone, and attempting like that to go, right? It goes a little bit with it. Again, if you are good at identifying good levels on the left and you see price kind of having some kind of good reaction, then it goes a little bit as well, maybe with the your expectations of the target. Maybe you're always maybe looking for big reversals and so on. When price is not really telling you that that's going to happen, maybe the only thing that price is going to do is maybe react from, let's pretend that is a good level. Maybe price just reacts from the good level all the way to the next level of support resistance, and from here just goes up, or some kind of good level of demand, and from here it goes up, while you are actually expecting something like this, and that's maybe not the right approach in that specific setup. So yeah, it goes a little bit with bigger picture as well of reading. It's not just the level itself, but yeah, this is something that I like to look for. If by any chance price just spikes and goes down, most likely I'm not participating in that move, because didn't really manage to get an entry in that. But yeah, that's usually, for example, similar to here. I actually didn't short in here, but on this specific moment, this was Thursday, but I entered a short on the gold with a similar setup. It was around the same time. All prices reversed around the same time. I think it was some kind of news at around 3 p.m. Yep, 3 p.m. on Thursday. It will be something like this, right? We have the move up, we have the fake out, not fake out, we have the break of this demand zone. Price usually still retraces. I like this level. I would be placing a sell stop maybe either below this level or somewhere even below this one. I'm looking at the 10-second chart as well to fine tune even the demand zone that I actually want to look for, right? But we already have the break of the low. Price is maybe reacting from a good level, or it just took a massive major high, which is in case it's the case. And I'll be looking for that sell. And as you can see, price didn't really win there anymore. If we manage to get with the sell stop, so we are not even at drawdown all this period until kind of again where price goes to somewhere in there in the future. Yeah, so that's usually one of the entries that I like to trade. I don't know if this helps you or not, Vlad, but that's usually kind of what I try to look for. Yeah, let's just continue. Yeah, Faden is saying levels alone are not enough for me. Location is very important. The same structure can react different depending on it. Alpha is also important, is what price is. Yeah, definitely, right? That's what I mentioned. Like it's all the big picture, it's not just a level alone, right? It's not even just the approach alone as well. Like it's all of it. Even then, in order to look for the specific target that we try to find out. Where try to attempt to look for the trade. Yeah, and even you guys just joined now, but I think I was talking even before that I don't really like to play sell limits anymore, just because even if I see a good level, there's a chance that level actually is going to be broken just for it to be respected on the other side, right? Maybe if you have a good kind of supply in there, and I'm looking for expecting maybe a reaction to the downside, price may just completely breaks it, goes up just to react to it as a long now. And in that regard, yes, the approach is important, just to give me a little bit of a clue of should I expect a sell or not in here. And maybe something that, even as I mentioned before, something that maybe you can even start doing is just trade the ignored levels, right? The levels that are actually broken, that price kind of should respect it like this. It doesn't, it just goes up. Yeah, trade these levels now. Look for the long on retrace of this. And maybe that's going to improve even your edge or your winning ratio. Can be interesting. Yeah, of course, right? Higher time frame levels. Yeah, ignored levels are huge, right? It's one of my favorites, to be honest. It's even given more confirmation that that's just the level itself when you see it. Yeah, Aussie. So we're talking about the Aussie. Yes, Aussie, for example, is one that I wouldn't even be surprised, or I don't even mind if we don't really break a new high. I'm still looking at this level in there. Maybe for some reaction, just to take the liquidity maybe from these highs, react from there, and maybe we can have a sell. Again, I was looking for these highs to be taken. Didn't really like where they reacted on the left side. That's why I was still a little bit bullish. Doesn't really mean that now I like where these highs are. Kind of, we are still not exactly reacting from a little bit this extreme. We are reacting actually from the base of this level. Can be interesting. But there's maybe still some room to go higher eventually on the Aussie, and eventually we may fill out this range when it turns. I don't know when that's going to happen, but maybe eventually we are going to have all this range to be filled, and then price kind of is going to make a decision whenever it gets to this low. Either kind of breaks it and maybe respects this next level, or it just kind of respects the low and maybe just continue to go higher. We'll see. I don't know that when that's going to happen. There's going to be some kind of interest rate decision on Tuesday on the Aussie. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen if price eventually is going to get a little bit closer. I don't even think they traded that they study RTM, man. Maybe Faden did, I don't know. I didn't even know if Faden even study RTM. Yeah, EURUSD just in between. Aussie yen finally moving away from all this nonsense, going to the downside. Euro yen. Let's take a look at the yen pairs. Let's take a look. Fine, I'm still winning, man. I should still be winning the medal after being stopped out exactly at that high. Jesus, that one. I think that's on the competition for the month we miss, and if not for the year. We need to find out on this euro yen. Oh my god. Yeah, overall I'm still expecting price to still go a little bit more down on the euro yen. Just continue to go. Yeah, that one hurts in there. Okay, I wouldn't really hold it all this time, but yeah, it's still a good one to look at. So let's take a look at this dollar yen. Right, dollar yen, just continuation. Again, this was a good level as well to that price I was looking for, where kind of price reacted yesterday. We talked even about, I mentioned this one with another guy in the morning. Yeah, natural zone, just retest this level. Like we start having this compression. There you go, a little bit of an imbalance in here. Price goes down. Natural zone to react from. It's this level. In here, price kind of make a decision, either to go up or to go down. I think there's maybe a little bit more room to go. Let's see. Price isn't really reacted from there. There's maybe a little bit of a demand underneath it, and maybe even can take this low away. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen on the yen, right? Maybe targeting somewhere these lows in here all the way till this demand zone. Targeting below this low could be a scenario. What a move, right? What a move on the yen. Yep. What a great move. Bigger picture. What can you see in the bigger picture? Yeah, we're actually getting really close to this weekly demand zone. Yeah, maybe even from here all the way until here could be an option. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see now how price is going to react from this weekly level, right? Maybe even on the monthly. What can you see on the monthly? Yeah, a little bit similar as well, like similar level. Is on in here after 1, 2, 3 kind of months to the upside. Now we have the massive sell-off in November, and now this good reaction, this another month continuation to the downside. This is just April, the same, right? Just in 2 days, another good move to the downside. We'll see. Are you going to take this low? Are you going to retest a little bit further below? But maybe some reaction from here to pause a little bit. Like, I think looking at the yen index as we saw it in the beginning of the stream, I think there's maybe some good level where actually price is reacting as well, the highs. So maybe a little bit a move to the downside. This is kind of the weekly level line. This demand zone in here on the weekly level, maybe taking yesterday lows, starting to reverse a little bit. Let's see what kind of approach you are going to have towards that level to target these lows. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So our yen pairs are kind of moving quite nicely to the downside. Euro, yen, just take this maybe the below and maybe reverse. Nice reaction to this supply level, so it's taken. Eventually maybe can go all the way until there. Yeah, something like that. This pound yen, again, it's another one which is quite similar to gold. I think gold did something similar as well, right? I think I mentioned this level a long time. How this was compressed, eventually you could have that turn, and this was kind of the demand that was still fresh. And what a good reaction that we had there yesterday from this level. It's going to be interesting to see how price is going to behave from here. Since we never broke this high, I may be expecting maybe that we can maybe continue to go down. So we are kind of shifting as well, kind of moving like this. If we had broken this high, maybe there's potential maybe to go a little bit higher from this demand zone. But since we respected it, I think I'm a little bit more biased to eventually break this low. This was a natural zone to have some kind of reaction. However, did price reacted from this supply? Not exactly, maybe. Yeah, maybe expecting. We'll see how price is going to behave from there. There's even maybe some orders at the lows. This is a good natural behavior as well during some kind of news. FOMC, for example, going all the way back to the extreme. We have this compression, just break through, react, and maybe there's some other demand zone a little bit underneath. The price can even fake out now this double low, take it and maybe go higher. Yeah, we kind of took this level and reacted from this supply. Yeah. Pound yen has been respecting every single high, right? Anytime it has deep retracements, it just goes all the way to the extreme, which is a good thing. But on one side we haven't really broken the highs, but on the other side we kind of are taking the orders from the extremes, which can be a good sign. And this one may be seen a little bit of as an engulf to the upside. Right there. Yeah, that's for the ends. Cards. That's an interesting one. Card is an interesting one. Yeah, I was looking for price to go a little bit higher. That's why I didn't even attempt to short on the card in here. So I missed completely the move. On Monday, I think, something like that. Yeah, I was looking for that one. This one happened way too fast. Not aware of that. We just broke the lows. I think we can see maybe a little bit more room to the downside. Maybe. I don't think this is it's a weird one. He took the lows into this demand zone. Maybe. I'm really happy where this was kind of reacted. I would like to see price going a little bit going a little bit more farther to the downside, to be honest. Maybe reacting from this level and eventually continue. Wait, then what you see on CAD that you like to trade it? Which key levels are you looking for on the CAD? CAD, I don't really like it at this point. I didn't like any of this, and at this point, I'm not really sure what to do with CAD. But sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's the pair that I'm more focused on, most focused on, and then focused, and then another days is just I don't even look at it. I just wait for it to kind of start to provide better PA all around. You like 3362, right? 33. That's at the lows. 336. Yeah, okay, I can see it. This little zone in here. Yep, exactly, right? Below this was, right? Is your... Yeah, we do look at same things. Yeah, that level could be... Personally, I don't even know if I like these walls. I would like even these walls to be taken out together and price to get a little bit, maybe even closer to that level. Yeah. Even when we had these walls, I was looking for price to go a little bit underneath it, kind of in there. Okay, price reacted from that level, it respected it. Okay, fair enough. But I was looking even for price to go a little bit further down. That never happened. And we kind of have these levels in here. I think there's maybe something in here fresh that can be kind of, we can take all these walls together. We have a little bit of some liquidity above that. 3153, right? Where is 3153? 315. Ooh, somewhere in here. All right. Yeah, maybe. Don't even know if I like those candles. 3153. Yeah, maybe. I kind of like these 1, 2, 3 highs in here, and they kind of still are there to be taken. We will see. 3153. Yeah, personally, I don't know if I like these levels. I think everything has been super spiked in here already. I think everything has been super spiked. Designed to be ugly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like that level. I like a little bit above it. I don't know if I like really inside here. Yeah, but let's see even if price goes there, right? So let's see what's going to happen on the CAD. We just broke these lows. I'm not the biggest fan of this level. When price gets here, I will set up an alert which kind of go up. Just be aware of when we broke these lows. If we start just to continue to go higher, yeah, maybe even somewhere above this level could be eventually, or even somewhere back to that level. We'll see what's going to happen. Yeah, CAD. At this point, I'm not sure if it's going to be in my focus for next week. This one, yeah. Dollar franc Swiss. Initially we reacted from that demand, right, that I had for a long time. We broke this low. I'm still looking for more moves to the downside on dollar franc Swiss. Bigger picture. I'm actually looking for even the possibility that from whatever we were here, I think I did that analysis the other day, a few weeks ago, that we may even go, and this one can be also seen as an engulf down, price even all the way back to the origin. We create a really good structure in there, nice liquidity to fake out. Again, this low I think for me is maybe a little bit important to see how price is going to behave somewhere in here. If we do break below this low or something here, we may have all this compression that price can feel. I really like this demand. I think I mentioned that already a little bit, like 09000, something like that. but you actually already broke this one here, and that's why kind of how this moving here. If you do break below that level, there's a high chance that eventually, I don't know when, price can even retrace. Price could even retrace all the way back somewhere in here before maybe continue to go down, even retesting this previous level support resistance in there before maybe making another strong move down. For example, why not take this low, give indication that wants to go down, and then just go all the way back, retest, and maybe continue to move and feel the compression that is in here all the way until this demand. This is bigger picture, right? This is higher time frame, maybe for the next few months ahead of us. Lower time frame. Yeah, this one looks like it's already taken that one, so maybe looking for the next demand underneath that level. Yeah, this one looks like it's already taken. Next one kind of is that one. Price is already reacting from something in there. Yeah, I like this price. I think maybe price can go and attempt to go there. Where did price reacted now? Kind of broke away exactly to the extreme of this wall. Yeah, I kind of see this one already as an engulf down. Just target this wall. Target this wall altogether. I'm going to maybe attempt to try to look for some kind of longs eventually when I get there. There's even some this level this here that price can go react and go down. Eventually even this one and eventually that one. But yeah, why not just continue to do that, react, and eventually even target that wall and continue to go down. Yeah, dollar franc Swiss maybe. I think there's a little bit more room to the downside. I like that one. I'm just going to set up an alert, so I'm not going to be surprised when price gets there. Yeah, it's another one that it's not often that I trade it. I just wait for price to get to key levels and then I try to attempt to look for a trade. Gold. It's another one that I don't really trade that often, but I did actually shorted on Thursday in here. Price took these highs in here. We are approaching a really important high, kind of the high that created all this last kind of move to the downside, this leg down. Interesting to see. I actually had predicted this low in here quite a long time. This zone in here for price to bounce from for a long time. Interesting. Yeah, nice rejection. Reacted from there. I think we could see eventually this high to be taken, and I kind of like this level 1817. Maybe just take off together these highs. I think this high already took this one in here. Maybe we can go a little bit higher, take this level, and maybe go a little bit higher. We did talk about gold last week, a few levels. Price basically just continue. It was gold, right? Did you look at gold? I think it was gold that you look for. Yeah, I think there was kind of this level, there was kind of this level, and there was this level in here, which actually had a good reaction. I think this was Faden level, this is kind of my level, I think this was kind of Mzeni level, something like that. And yeah, I kind of lost it, price just completely broke my level. Which kind of eventually, it worked on the other way around, as you easily see it. Yeah, nice reaction from the extreme, then price just went all the way up, all the way until it finally took these highs in here. Yeah, that level right here, you did. I remember I had that line, I saw it reacting. I didn't trade it, I was not even paying special attention to it, but I did follow all these moves to the upside. This is something that I do also, right? It's kind of a game of patience. Following compression, following compression, following compression, following compression, following the goddamn compression. Wait, and wait, and wait, and wait, and this is where I got short. Like again, similar situation. Kind of have the break, price went up. And I think somewhere in here, that's when I kind of place again my sell stop. I shorted. I think I closed 75% of my trade. I was even looking for price to get here eventually after breaking this level. I took my kind of 75% out in here, break even the rest, and eventually price finally kind of filled the space, not even filled it, it went all the way back to this level. I actually had this line as well, right? This is the beginning of this compression, and this is the space. This is the space where kind of the new cycle starts from here, and look at that. Just a little bit similar to pound yen at the lows. We had kind of a demand zone, a decision point in here, a little bit of an imbalance, price retraces and starts this compression all the way to the upside. Target this low, look for the decision point in there. That's a really good level to look for an entry, or at least for a target as well. Yeah, price still decided to do that. Fair enough. Nice reaction from here, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, what's next for gold, right? Yeah, it took that demand zone. The demand zone has been taken. Are you going to respect the highs, or are you going to fake out the highs? Zen master patience. Yeah, I actually like to follow it like that. It needs patience. It needs not patience, but it needs discipline, right? Because you can easily start selling it as price is going there, and all of a sudden you start having 1, 2, 3 losses in a row, and eventually first of all, you need to still be disciplined too, or not get tilted or upset after having those losses. But basically, if you then eventually get to win, are just kind of recovering the losses that you just got. That was what used to happen in the past. And that's when that patience kind of start working out, right? Or kind of mastering the patience. 1 second, I'm actually entering way too early. Let me actually wait until I actually get my final trigger. And now, yes, when you get the trade, those profits actually work as a profit and not just a way to recover the previous losses along the way. And that kind of makes a big difference, right? Instead of finishing now the day at break even, actually, even if just taking 1 trade, at least it's a winning day. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, there's no other better teacher than actually the real market. Eventually, to teach you how to be patient, how to wait, and to find those triggers. And it's not everyone's going to have the strength to go through it. Some may give up along the way, but yeah, like the system is still there. It's just when to execute, right? It becomes a big part. The when part. It's actually, I think I shared that video. It was an interview that someone did to. It was a Guardiola interview. I think the journalist was kind of praising him, how good he is as a manager, and he was just saying, yeah, I may give the tactics, I may give to show them kind of where the spaces are and when kind of what they kind of should pay attention to. But then it's going to be down to the player, right? Like the when to make the pass and how to make the pass. That's actually all the difference. It's not just because I'm telling that there's space in there that it's going to work out as a kind of a good pass, or in this case as a good trade. It's when. The when is it's really important. When actually to find it, when to execute it, when to make the decision to actually do it. It's a big factor, and that goes with patience. It goes with timing the moment. Yeah. Yeah, at a certain point, everything you listen, you kind of can relate to trading. That's how it works a little bit, even if it's about different stuff. In this case, about football. That time I wait from the charts as well. Yeah, just analyzing charts, right? I literally follow, man. And what I like to see is, because as I'm waiting, and when you usually start looking for it, you see the compression, right? Because this is the build up of the compression, okay? And then, of course, you kind of start become a master as well of the compression. Because you start to see every single low being respected, If you're just following it on 1 minute, sometimes you're going to have a low being broken, but kind of you shouldn't still trade it. That's why I like to then look at the 515, because there's maybe some weak in here, a small demand zone that was still not taken, and price kind of goes there, takes it, and it continues to go higher. That usually used to be a zone where I maybe attempt to sell and then I would fail. Though, okay, I'm not jumping into the action straight away. I will wait a little bit more, and then of course pay always attention to where price is on the left side. Try to see again, is price finally approaching the level that I'm looking for? Because if you are even looking for any selling here, but price is you kind of know that price wants to go kind of to take those highs. If you are just forcing sales in here just because you saw a small break of a low, that's not the right approach. Just wait. And again, another situation is usually when price is about to reverse, there's also actually some kind of a strong push up, right? That strong push up that kind of, it takes everything else on the left side finally, and now the move down. It's usually a little bit of a trend to the upside to then get rejected, and that's a good trigger as well to look for, right? If price is by any chance is just moving in a small compression, that's usually not the high. Usually there's a little bit of a whoop, and then it turns. There's a little bit of a strong move, even in here, right? Even in here, you see 1-2 bullish candles, and then the rejection. That's usually how you see it. If you just continue to see small highs being created, wait a little bit longer. Yeah, let's take a look at those levels. So you are mentioning, yeah, you want a short to then retest 12,085. 12,000. Oh, where are you going, Luke? 12,000. Where is 12,000? Did you write that correctly? You didn't write that correctly. What 12,000, man? Ah, so Faden was actually as well from RTM. All right, fair enough. Yeah, Sullivan, right? Yeah, it was good. His reading was amazing. The trades was taken was amazing. Ah, NASDAQ. You're looking at NASDAQ, man. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't read the NASDAQ before. Yeah, I did NASDAQ. We can go there. But just take a look at this 1,820. That's what we are looking for, right? For a potential sell on gold. Is that above the highs? Yeah, it's above the highs. 1,020. Yep. You are talking about the same level. I think I talked about this level as well, somewhere in here. Yeah, we're talking about the same one. Then even a little bit in there as well, but all this then looks compressed a little bit. So it's going to be interesting. I remember this move down back in the summer. Anytime that gold was trying to go up, just strong rejection. Paris can even maybe eventually get there. But yeah, I kind of agree. Taking these highs, going that maybe to that 1,820 before going there. Yeah, NASDAQ. Okay, we can go back to NASDAQ if you want. Where is NASDAQ in here? Yeah, NASDAQ actually the highs. So we took the highs, right? We took these highs. It actually still reacted from this nice supply level. That's this one. We still had this really nice supply level where price reacted to, which it's a good level to be honest. And now we are talking about 12,085. 12,085, which, ooh, even in here, yeah, I still see some levels in there. I have to be honest. You really want this extreme, huh? Or above the highs? No, it's still in here. Oh my, yeah, yep. There's a little bit in there. There's left shoulder as well. Price is respecting this level. I like it. I like that. I don't like it. I think we may have a little bit of a fake out in there. A little bit maybe towards this level. But we have these highs to take, right? For example, something in here. Yeah, I really like to trade the extremes, right? I used to. I'm a little bit more okay. giving a bit more room. Did price took this level or not? This price hasn't really taken this level. Maybe you can see some reaction there. Yes, I do like that. And there's even maybe a little bit above in here, above these highs. It's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, I don't really see the need for price to break these highs if it wants to go down. If it wants to go down. Yeah, man, she really go there, right? Yeah. Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, I want this high to hold. But I could still see maybe something in there. And then this level can still be okay, because I think price just reacted from the zone underneath it. Yeah, price literally just reacted from this level. So that level could still be okay. And we have all these left shoulders in here, all this kind of decision, all the way to the left side, all these highs. It can be interesting. So just take this guy and maybe reverse. Maybe do that. Yeah, kind of pretend that you're making a double top in here. Yeah, just attract more, and then maybe do this, something like that. Yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah. Yep. On Go, geez, what do you want from Go now? 20, where are you? 2083. It's in here, right? Okay, even before, okay, I cannot see it, right? It's in here. No? 20 is in here. Where are you, man? We're testing this level. Now I'm going to, in a second, check the different time frames. Now I'm going to correct your stop loss. Yeah, I'm going to correct your stop loss. Sorry, Faden. Okay, yeah, it's retesting this level, 280. Yeah, the Twisty has this high in here. He has this high. Nah, man, I'm going to correct it. Sorry, I think I will wait a little bit lower. I will wait to 20 kind of, yeah, 26, 20, 206. 206, man. We are, yeah, we're going to be fighting on that one. I'm going to correct your stop loss. Sorry to let you know. Yeah, I think I will go there eventually when it gets there. Yeah, you just wait for it to reverse, right? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on it as well. And maybe not. There's not even going to be such a big move. Just some reaction maybe to this level and just dropping. If you are about to reverse, since you already created this low, it will be kind of a second low. If you don't break the highs, and if you break this low, I think maybe you can maybe start seeing some more move to the downside in here. But yeah, sorry, I'm going to take your lows. This one even already broke this one, right? Yep. Sorry, this for me is already in goof down, and this is the next price. We have a bet. Just remember, we are into 1 hour and 55 of the stream. So remember, today is the 3rd of December. Whenever price gets there, we need to make a bet now. We need to make a bet to see which one is going to react from. I don't know how big the reaction is going to be, but there you go. Challenge accepted for Christmas. Yeah, guys, I think that's it. It's already 2. Jesus, Let's wait. What else? I think that's done. Crypto, what's going on in these guys? Yeah, strong move up. Reacting from that level. We talked about like crypto last time, right? I mentioned that that's how I finished the stream. I think price was somewhere in here, and I said for sure price is going to take all these highs before dropping. Such a nice move. At the same time, this high is an engulf to the upside, so it's just a fake out in the moment and engulf to the upside. A natural zone to look for is actually to target some lows. That's kind of what he did. Ethereum, personally, I was still looking for price maybe to go a little bit closer to this level. I think there was still some kind of orders above this double top. Price, I think it took a little bit that double top. Apparently even retested there now. This was a demand zone and so on. We'll see if price is ready to go down and maybe fill this price in there. Bigger picture, which is something interesting. I think we have maybe taken the high in here, which can be interesting. Which can mean maybe this is already an engulf up and maybe actually want to go higher. Go away. Yep. It's going to be from this wall, so you kind of respected the wall. Personally, I still wish that price would, before a major reversal or before the major move to the upside, whatever it may be, maybe price can go a little bit higher. But I still like to see kind of this double low being taken. And there's maybe something still in here below these ones. I'll still like to see this double low being taken into at least this demand, and there's even something in here as well. There's a level in there as well that I like, around maybe 1000 on Ethereum. Personally, I would like to see that happening. Doesn't even need to take the level, but I would like to see that happening. Bigger picture, maybe on the daily where the walls are reacting to, maybe it's already a good level from here. But I would like to see maybe price going a little bit below. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen in there. We are on. Yeah, we are. we can decide. We can let the guys decide what the bet's going to be. Yeah, guys. I think that's it for today. I'm going to kind of take a break of this live streams. Not a break, but the next week I'm not going to do any. Tuesday, Portugal is going to play the next round of the World Cup. Tuesday at 7 PM. So I want to be relaxed and ready to watch the game. I'm not going to do the stream at 6 PM on that day. I'm quite busy next week, so maybe I'm just going to completely skip it. And 1 week from now, I'm actually going to be in London, so I'm going to spend the weekend in London, so I'm not going to do the stream either. So next week, yeah, Tuesday and Sunday, and next Tuesday, next Saturday, there's no stream. I will be back then the Tuesday after that, which day is it? Maybe 13th of December? Second. Yeah, 13th of December. I will be back and back in schedule, right? 13th, which is Tuesday. Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully Portugal is going to still be in World Cup and ready to the semi-final, and then to play the final weeks from now. No, Pedro, I was not ready. No, man, we are going to still talk. We are going to be talking on Discord. Just the stream's not going to be on. I mean, it's the World Cup. Come on, Portugal against Switzerland. I hope we win. I am looking for us to win, and then we are going to get Spain most likely in the quarterfinal, and that's going to be a big one. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for attending. What the fuck? Thank you for joining and to be here on the live stream. Wish you guys a a great weekend. I'll see you guys next, yeah, in 10 days time for the next one. Again, if you haven't subscribed, do so. Share if you get any values. Thank you for sharing as well. Thank you for participating. It's always funny. It's always a good laugh, which is funny. Yeah, man. See you. Enjoy your Saturday. See you next time. Bye bye. Thank you. Obrigado.